Hello and welcome to Crunch Time. My name is Jack Bogdan.
My name is Alex Jordan.
And this is our review of Battleheart. So that was the trailer for Battleheart. Here is some footage from Battleheart. Alex, I have so many questions about this game.
Okay.
Let's start with, first of all, so an observation. I'll start with an observation. It's very pretty. Reminds me of Castle Crashers.
Yeah. I think Castle Crashers has a little bit more of a defined style than this game. But in its cartoonish hack and slashy nature even, it is very similar to Castle Crashers.
I said I had questions. Another observation, very RPG, like old school RPG. You kill things in a room, you get items, you equip them. Here's my first question. Combat, that kind of thing. It looked like what the trailer told us was that you dragged from your character to the enemy character, and that was kind of your attack.
Right.
How do you do like alternate attacks, or how do you do magic or that kind of thing?
So all the magic and stuff works the same way as like the melee combat. What you do is you drag from character that you want to attack to the bad guy, and he'll start attacking him. Like, wizards have like a default fireball attack. And then what happens is you have the character's special abilities show up in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. You can see them right here in this gameplay.
Yep.
And then you can just tap those, and the character will automatically carry out that attack on whatever enemy they're currently engaged with.
Oh, cool. So you play all four members of the party, or three, I guess in this case. You play all.
There's four.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's always four. Well, not always. You can go into battle with like one person, but you're not gonna live very long.
So do you get to play every class, I guess?
Yeah, you do. And like the healer class, healing your teammates works the same as attacking the enemies, where you drag from your healer to the teammate that needs healing. As you go through, the way it works is you do these little battles. When you're victorious, you go back to the world map, and you can go on to the next battle. Or you can go back here to the tavern, where they just went. At the tavern, you can... This person has a lot of gold. You do not have that much gold in this game. You go back to the tavern, you can recruit new team members. And every team member, no matter at what point in the game you recruit them, they always start at level 1.
Oh, okay.
So you could be like, 3/4 of the way through the game, recruit someone new, and then you still have to go through the process of leveling them up.
That sounds a little annoying.
Yeah, seems like a little bit of an oversight on their part. But, for completing, for every, encounter that you complete, you get gold, and you'll get a weapon. Those weapons range. Usually they have these arena battle areas where you just fight wave after wave, and those are the best way to get high-level weapons. Let's see, I don't know, just talk about what's on screen here.
Okay.
What you're seeing is all the skills that this person has. So, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6 columns there.
So it's like your little tech tree.
That's right. So every 5 levels, you get to pick a skill from the top or the bottom. And usually those skills are, a defensive bonus or an attack bonus. It's usually kind of how they pan out. And, each character has its own, skill sets that you go through and define.
I'm noticing something here, if I can just ask a question. So, are the other characters immobile and don't do anything when you're not actually controlling them?
If an enemy gets close enough to them, they will just start attacking them. But that does become a problem sometimes. They almost have to be getting attacked before they will attack automatically.
Okay.
Which is kind of annoying in later areas where there are a lot of enemies. There's a big swarm. Like anything, it's a lot of crowd control. But if sometimes I played this on an iPad or on an iPod. And it's also available for the iPad. But the problem with the iPod is that, I don't know, maybe I have fat fingers, but sometimes it's hard to select the individual characters, when they're all bunched up. So I end up doing things that you don't mean to do, so on and so forth.
Is there any motion involved with the gameplay at all, or is it strictly touch?
No, it's strictly touch. And it does the touch, really well, aside from, minor complaint. It does the touch really well, and it's an interesting way to handle combat and stuff.
So this game looks really polished, but it's not the first time we've seen this kind of game before. Do the touch controls, and I mean, it looks great. It has great animation. It looks like there's a lot of exploration or at least expansion of different characters. Is that enough to carry it? How much is this game? That kind of thing.
This game is $3. Well, $2.99. I did not finish it because my iPod died. Special shout out to Apple for making great products. Appreciate it. 2-year lifespan on an iPod. Really great. But I dumped in about 8 hours into this thing.
Wow.
So we're talking, yeah. So it's an addicting little game.
8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours, and I think I was only in the 3rd area. And I'm pretty sure it says that there are like 11 areas.
Okay. All right, I have to ask the question. Was each area defined to the point where it was really interesting to travel there? Like, did you meet characters? Like, basically everything that we're seeing is it's basically just battles, but like, do you end up like going to an area and having a little cutscene? Like, is there anything like that?
No. That's why when that trailer says that it has an epic campaign, it's a little misleading because there's not any story or anything.
Oh, there's no story?
No, there's no story. It's just go to this encounter, fight things, go to the next encounter, fight more things.
Huh.
That's kind of how it's broken up. But that sounds like a bad thing, but I also spent 8 hours playing it.
So obviously there's something in the oven.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of thing where, Diablo 2 might not be the most appealing game, to look at. It might, it's not going to last you forever long. But there's a lot of replay value because the simple mechanics that it has are pretty addicting in and of themselves. And it was the same kind of this game. You know, after the 8 hours, I was getting a little tired of it.
But for $3,
what they tend to do is they throw in these boss battles that are huge spikes in difficulty, and you end up having to go back to previous areas and grind to level up your characters.
Oh.
Which is annoying. It's not a good thing. Doesn't seem like good game design to me. That you wouldn't be able to, you know, handle at least some of those bosses upon your first encounter.
Alex, I'm gonna be totally honest. You've been super positive and super negative during this review. I don't know. You've said 8 hours of gameplay, $3, super repetitive, big grind, pretty, sounds great. Also, no story. I have no.
Well, I think what it is they do a really good job of keeping the carrot just far enough away from you to where you want to keep playing. You know, there's armor upgrades. You know, you pay gold to upgrade your armor, or you can buy new armor in the store. It's kind of annoying because you end up spending a shit ton of your armor, and then like, you know, half an hour later, that item will be in the store for a fraction of what you paid to upgrade your armor. So there's not really any cost benefit to upgrading your armor manually versus just waiting for it in the store.
You're gonna have to make a decision on this, Alex.
I went into this being like, I really like this game, but then the more I talk about it, the less I like this game.
This is it. Is it? You have to call it, Alex. Who should buy this game?
I think it's worth your money. 8 hours, you know, gameplay, and I was only 3 areas in. You know, it has, you know, definitely there's some negatives there, but all in all, it's $3. It's $3 for a fun little game. I played it. It's great for playing on the bus, which is where I played it, because you do your little encounters and be done. There's nothing, you know, like, you know, because like other RPGs, granted more involved RPGs, like Dragon Age, you dump a half an hour into and you feel like you didn't get anything done.
Right.
Whereas this, at least if you dump 5 minutes in, you will have 50 more gold that you can then spend at a later point on a later bus ride. Which is
where they got you to play for 8 hours.
Yes, that is 8 hours of bus riding right there. So yeah, I mean, $3. I say buy it. It's
there you
good.
go.
It's good. There you go.
The word.
Finally.
Alex says buy it. My name is Jack Bogdan.
My name is Alex Grimley.
And if you want to see more of the show, you can do so at crunchtimeshow.com, and we'll talk to you soon.